Bad news on your answering machine?
Grace left me a message.
Grace called you? Why?
She wanted to talk about Julie's case, but she didn't want you to know that she'd be talking to me.
She didn't want me to know.
Well, you and Chris, to be exact.
Did she say what she wanted?
No. But it was urgent, important. Next thing I know, Grace ends up choked to death. What did she want to tell me, Eve?
Hey. You waiting for me?
Like when you waited for Grace? Waited till she was alone with no one to help her?
What?
Your stethoscope was found near her body, Chris.
That doesn't mean I had anything to do with her murder.
I'm getting sick of you weaseling your way out of every rotten thing you do around here. This time, you are gonna pay. You know, anytime anything stinks around here, all we have to do is lift up a rock and you come crawling out, Chris.
Matt, why would I kill Grace? She was my friend. I had no reason to harm her.
Why did you tip off the Mancusas about my living in Port Charles?
You still blame me for that?
Yes, you're damn right I do. You see, you get off destroying people's lives, Chris.
Grace was a terrific person. Her death was a terrible tragedy. It was senseless. Now, I'm sorry for her parents. I'm sorry for you.
She didn't just die, Chris. She was murdered. And I'm gonna nail you for it.
You want my head? Fine. You come and get it if you can. Because from now on, I'm taking you at your word.
Meaning?
Meaning if your big thing is being treated like everyone else, the next time you get in my face, I'm gonna knock you out.
Payback is a tradition in my family. We raised it to an art form. You know, I never really enjoyed it. Until now.
I get this call from Grace. Tell me she has some information, then she ends up dead. And you are right in the thick of things again.
Grace overheard Chris and me discussing our phony alibi for Devlin's murder. She probably thought we had something to do with it. And she wanted to tell you.
Well, if that's the case, then that makes you two the most logical suspects in her murder. And I just happened to be sleeping with one of them.
I didn't have to tell you about Grace overhearing the conversation that Chris and I had.
So what do you want, a medal?
What more do you want?
Do you know anything about either one of these murders that would have a direct impact on you or this case?
You have exactly an hour to withdraw your complaint. Or I tell the world that you're on your way through college flat on your back as a hooker.
No. Absolutely not.
I don't care if you are my publisher, you don't own me. Well, yes, I am going to call every person that I based a character on, and I'm going to warn them. I didn't make this call to get your permission. Fine, if it comes to that, then we know why lawyers are kept on retainer. Maybe I'll be in touch, and maybe someone else will. Goodbye.
Well, it sounds like your publisher doesn't want you to make that list.
She doesn't have to go to a funeral every other day either.
Oh, Doc, there still is the possibility, you know, that maybe those murders were committed with nothing to do with your book.
I won't risk lives by staying silent.
Okay, listen. When Rex tainted those pills, remember how upset I was? I mean, thinking that all those people could be hurt or their lives ruined because of me, it might be my fault. I felt so awful, and I know what you're going through, kinda. So tell me, what else can I do to help?
You see, you've done so much already. Victor! Do you have any leads on Victor?
No, I tried every single hospital, every single home, and every phone book, and I even tried the soup kitchens. Nobody matching Victor's description showed up.
Do me a favor. Go over this list of people that I made. I matched characters to all these people. Tell me if I'm missing anyone. I have to get started on these.
This is a very long list.
What do you think the chances are that I'll have any friends after this, huh?
Just about same chance we haven't been invited to any more parties.
Alan, Kevin Collins. Do you have a minute? I need to talk to you about the book I wrote. I'll need a gallon today. I didn't sleep at all last night.
Yes, I know you didn't. Hey, listen, don't worry. We are going to find Victor. Oh, and something a little bit odd. You remember how I told you that I didn't think we'd be invited to any more parties?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we were. Guess what? We're invited to Stefan Cassadine and Catherine Bell's engagement party. I guess they probably sent the invitations out, you know, before the general homicide killings.
Don't tell me that's what people are calling them.
Hey, don't you worry about what anybody thinks about anything to do with us at all. We just got to concentrate on finding Victor.
Why hasn't anyone called? You'd think the police would have found him by now. Vic, oh.
I guess there's no word of Victor yet.
No, actually, I was hoping you were him. Come on in.
Oh, listen, hiya, Lucy. Thanks for inviting me over. If there's anything I can do.
Actually, you know, we did call everybody in the book, not just you.
And that's why I wanted to talk to you, because I really think that I would like to put my security people over here on the lighthouse.
I agree with Scott.
Thank you.
I already made a few calls about having security put in here. If he's got people he trusts, I say we go with them.
Tell me something. Why do we need security people when we already know who the real killer is?
Oh, here we go. I come over here as a pal, and what do? You start digging up this business about Eve.
It's because you are my pal that I am not going to stop until you start thinking with your brain.
Let me know about the security. See you later.
Scott, just wait, please. Would you stop? Listen, Devlin was already investigating Eve.
Fine, but you're not a vindictive person like Bennett Devlin.
Eve had a big fight, a boxing match with Devlin. He's murdered. You find Eve's bracelet by Devlin's dead body. Scott, come on, that's more evidence against Eve than the police have against Julie.
What it is circumstantial evidence.
Then why don't we just try to look at the circumstantial evidence, add to everything I just said the fact that Grace and Eve were seen right together right before Grace was murdered.
Lucy, they work at the hospital. Why wouldn't they be seen together?
I know that, Doc, but Grace was very, very upset, and Eve would not let her get away.
But you don't even know what they were talking about.
Eve kept at her and at her and at her, and next thing I know, Grace is murdered. Eve had to be the one that did it.
Eve didn't do it. All right? That's it. I'm not even going to talk about this anymore. End of discussion. Goodbye.
No! Wait! Fine. You know what? I didn't want to tell you this because I don't like hurting you.
Lucy?
But I have no choice. No, I'm going to tell you. No!
Think about what you're doing.
What?
I saw Eve and Chris kissing.
What do you mean, kissing?
I mean lip locking. You know, tonsil tickling kissing, putting their lips
That's
together
enough.
and kissing.
Well, where was this?
It was in the lab. Remember the day that you sent me to get my keys to my new Jack's offices? I went to get the keys. I saw Chris and Eve kissing, and then they were talking about Eve taking your money and marrying Chris.
They were probably just joking around.
Actually, Scott, no one here has any idea what that encounter may really have meant.
Fine, let's forget about what it meant. Let's just face the fact. The fact is there is something to Eve that just isn't right. She's not what she seems. I can feel it.
Let me ask you something, Lucy. Why is it so important that you break Eve and me up? Why?
Because I really care about you, and I care about Serena, and I don't want to see the two of you get hurt by this person.
Yeah, well, you see, I got another theory here. I think you're really upset because Serena gave Eve a Mother's Day card. You practically bulldozed me out of the way to see what it said. Serena loves Eve, and that's driving you crazy.
All
because
right, both of you,
wait. Seeing another mother.
You're just going to say something you can't take back.
Too late. I'm going to go, and I'm going to pass out these leaflets about Victor. But I want to say one thing to you, Scott. This is not because I am jealous. This is because I love Serena very much, and she is going to get hurt. If this continues with Eve, she's going to get hurt by a cold-hearted killer.
sorry about that. You know, her heart's in the right place. She's only trying to protect you and Serena.
I know what it's time to do.
For what it's worth, I don't believe Eve's a killer either.
Well, see? You are the brains in this house. I knew that. Let me know what you want to do about the security.
Just make it discreet. Scott?
Yeah.
Don't let your imagination run wild on you. We have no idea what happened between Chris and Eve.
But I think it's time we find out.
You're the one who paged me?
I needed to talk to you in private.
Couldn't you have found a more appropriate place? Grace was killed in this room.
Most killers enjoy returning to the scene of the crime.
Come again?
You killed Grace to shut her up.
What is it with everybody? I had no reason to kill Grace.
Oh, come on. You freaked out when she overheard our discussion the other day. She knew about our phony alibi for Devlin's murder, and you didn't want her to go to the police about it.
Are you out of your mind? I made up that alibi to cover your butt as well.
You did that to save your backside because you killed Devlin.
You are not pinning a murder on me.
Oh, let go!
Oh, you are good, Eve Lambert. You're even better than I thought.
Good at what?
I come in here, you're all emotional. You throw this accusation in my face that I'm the murderer. Then you open those pretty bedroom eyes of yours real wide because you're scared. I mean, after all, you're in a room all alone with the murderer. It's a terrific act.
It's not an act.
Come on. If you really thought I was a killer, you'd be too afraid to confront me like this. You know what I think? You did it. Now, your only way to stay out of jail is to keep your mouth shut. And trust me, I am warning you. If anything happens to me, people are going to find a letter saying that I was not with Eve Lambert the night she murdered Bennett Devlin.
If anything happens to me, everyone will know that you lied.
Well, then we're back where we started. Keeping this between us.
I'll keep the secret. And if I find out that you hurt Grace or Devlin, I will throw you into the frying pan without so much as a second thought.
Ditto.
I'm sorry for being so jumpy. 2 people have already been found dead in this hospital, and Dr. Collins is making phone calls warning everyone else.
Yes, I know. That's why I'm here. Look, I would like to help you find out who really killed your father.
You do?
I want to do that because, well, I truly am grateful for your father saving my doc's life.
But there's another reason.
Yeah, you see, Kevin is blaming himself for all of this. He's really beating himself over the fact that the book could have something to do with the murders, but I don't think it has anything to do with his book.
You have another theory about the murders?
Could you dig around the Scanlon house?
I could, but why?
Okay, look. I think that Eve Lambert is really the killer, and I need your help to prove it.
Hi. Oh. You've got that look on your face again. What is it this time?
Would you like to tell me why you were kissing that peacock in a lab coat?
This has Lucy Coe written all over it.
She just told me that she caught you with Chris.
Caught me.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm tried and convicted.
Nobody's accusing you of anything. Just, would you explain to me?
We were playing around in the lab, just making jokes. No big deal. He just went in to kiss me. It was fast. It was Chris. It was just Chris. It was nothing more.
Yeah. Kiss was no big deal. Where does he get off thinking that he can just grab you and kiss you? I got a feeling you're holding things back here.
Listen to me. police find out about my bogus alibi, they're gonna come after me.
Listen, you are so in over your head here. If you back out of that alibi, you are going to look guilty.
All right. Listen, I admit that I've told a lot of lies in my time. But I did not kill anyone.
Well, with all these lies floating all over the place, I just don't really know who to believe.
Dr. Reitzel, 3288. Dr. James Reitzel.
If you want to be alone, I could leave.
You know, Grace's parents rented the recovery room for her wake.
She'd have liked that.
You know, Grace's parents, they didn't want her to see me because I'm a Mancusi. They were afraid that she'd be dodging bullets on our dates. And her father made a special point to call me after she died. He wants me there. He wants me at the wake.
That's because he knew how crazy she was about you.
Well, I wish I felt the same way about her.
You didn't deliberately lead her on.
Karen, you know, that's not the point. She took a bullet for me. And then a few weeks later, I tell her I don't want a romantic relationship. You know, that's the last thing I said to her. And now she's dead.
You cannot blame yourself for her death. Stop it.
Why not? If I had kept my mouth shut, wouldn't she be alive? We would have gone to the circus together. The killer would have never gotten to her.
No, you don't know that. Matt, he could have been waiting for her. You might have spared her life for an hour or so.
Intellectually, I could probably convince myself that that's true, Karen. But in my heart, I feel responsible. I just wish to God I'd done things differently.
So, obviously there hasn't been any word on Victor?
No, nothing. Did you finish everything?
Yes, I did. I talked to Don. He's got a fact sheet all about Victor, going out to the newspapers, the radio stations, television stations, and maybe, just maybe, because people might recognize us, they'll try and find Victor. So let's keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah.
So, did Scott head out? When did he leave?
Right after you did. You two had quite a fight. You all right?
I'm fine. I am just fine. You know, I am going to prove to Scott that I am absolutely right about Eve. Doc, I need you to know something, too. I don't think this is just about jealousy here. This is something that I feel I'm right about because I feel it in my bones.
I know. It occurred to me a little while ago there's something else we have to think about. Victor was so erratic before he disappeared. He finally agreed to go to the Jasmine Island police with me to tell them what he knows about a 30-year-old unsolved murder. And then he slips away, and Grace is killed.
Doc,
I couldn't find him the day Bennett Devlin was killed either.
that doesn't mean anything, you know?
Lucy, I hate to consider the idea, but I don't have any choice. My father could be the killer.
What are you doing in my room?
I have got a splitting headache, and I couldn't find any aspirin.
You're a doctor. Did you check your medical bag?
Oh, that's a good idea. I'll check it. With my father and everything else, I haven't been thinking too clearly. I'm sorry if I scared you. Here. Thanks.
I've had a long day.
I'll get out of your hair.
Tonight, following an all-new Drew Carey, Dharma and Greg do something in public that could land them in jail. Don't miss this all-new Dharma and Greg, ABC tonight. Visit abc.com and take the Port Charles Daily Poll.